So, as some of you may know, I love Project Sekai. The 5 Pro Sekai wish lists, 6 if you include the unfinished but unreleased one, should make that fact pretty obvious. And when you like the game and play long enough, eventually you fall into the rabbit hole that is tiering. I, of course, am no exception. So, for a bit of background in case I just showed up and you have no clue who I am, hello, I'm Yui, and I have a crippling addiction to gambling. Oh, and rhythm games. I started playing Project Sekai when the English servers released because what I knew about it was Vocaloid Bandori? Sign me up right now! Immediately, I was drawn to Nene's character design and Wonderland Showtime as a whole. Luckily for me, I really liked their music and story as well. And thus, the addiction began. After accidentally tearing once during Anna 1, the Insatiable Pale Color event, I decided to finally try my hand at tearing properly. Pop in My Heart was and still remains one of my favorite events in the game, so after its JP release, I decided that would be my start. It didn't end very well though. I had school and went to bed early and only made it to 2075th place. But I just couldn't stop! Every single one-show event. I teared all of them. And honestly, I wasn't mad. By the end of 2023, I did burn out some, having lost a lot of resources in the war zone that was close game offline. Then I lost my account. After many email chains with Sega support, only after being ignored the first time, I was unable to recover it and had to start again from scratch. So from early 2024 all the way to mid 2025, I didn't tear at all. I ended up tearing Nene's chapter of World Link, because I'm insane like that, at rank 50. And I actually got myself a new tearing record. I managed to get 826th place, scoring me my first flower title. There's 2 things I should point out with everything that I've talked about till now. 1, I didn't spend any money on the game. I'm an entirely free-to-play tierer. And 2, I was an entirely solo player, only doing solo lives of songs I generally wanted to play. Any experienced tierer knows that's not necessarily a reliable way to get on the leaderboard. Thus brings us to Nene 5. I had already been planning to tier Nene 5, but with World Link 2 around the corner, I was planning to go low to save resources for T100 Yearning. Spoiler alert, that didn't happen. So, I way overshot my T2K goal and ended up in T50. I've been lucky enough to make some tiering friends via my friend Scarf. Thanks for your support in all of this, by the way. And so, I made my server debut. After some convincing from my enablers, friends, I made my goal up to T1K, like a week before the event started. I was also recommended to join a small tiering server a while before. I don't know if you guys have ever heard of it. It's called R8SS. It's kind of niche, so... This is a joke. It has 15k members. Anyway, a great place to start your server tiering experience in my opinion. So, let's start with the event recap. Thursday, November 20th, day 1. Start dash. I started the minute the clock struck 6, when the event starts in my time zone. I quickly started in T1K and just kept climbing. I started out solo since my friends that were sort of like my guides through the event, the aforementioned Scarf, as well as another tierer named Moonlight, were unable to start until a few hours later. By the time they were online and able to tier with me, I'd climbed my way up to roughly T200. So we all hopped on VC and made a room in R8 for Ebby Jail. Oh, for those unaware, there's a certain meta for tiering by constantly playing the same song, Hitorimbo Envy, as it's the shortest in the game. So you can gain event points quicker because you can squeeze in more games. Around here, I also got bullied into changing my team, which was well worth it in the end. By the end of the night, I ended up in T50, a feat I'd never done before in all my years of the game and events I've tiered. At 3:30 a.m., after playing the same song over and over again for almost 9 hours straight, I did take a break pretty early on to eat, I went to bed at rank 42. Friday the 21st, day 2, keeping pace. I woke up around 1 p.m. and checked my rank to see myself in 88th, still in T100! This day, I decided to switch to Lost and Found to preserve resources. While Ebby is a short song, so you can do lots of rounds in a short period of time, it's not as efficient if you're not using a high multiplier. That's when you switch to LNF, a longer song that gives you more EP at a lower multiplier. Around this time, a major obstacle would come into view. My lack of cans. Because I hadn't been playing very much between World Link and this event, my resources were lacking. Adding that to the lack of crystals caused by my crippling gambling addiction, I was starting to run out of bonus energy fast. Things were progressing pretty smoothly overall. I also started getting used to looking for rooms in R8. This day I also bought out the event shop. I ended up calling it early since I had a really bad headache and eye pain, so I left at 12:30 a.m. in 56th place. Saturday the 22nd, day 3, Worry. This day I had some family coming over, so I actually had to go downstairs to play. It also meant I wasn't on VC for the whole day, pretty much. Since my resources were looking bad at this point, I switched to Sage. Sage is a fairly long song that will give you more points at very low multipliers. I used a 3-time multiplier in this day in hopes of trying to keep up, though it proved ineffective. I started the morning in 107th and slowly worked up to 89th by the afternoon. This day didn't have much going on aside from using a bunch of cans on Sage and worrying about my rank. By this point, I accepted I probably wouldn't end up in T100. Oh yeah, while LNFing for a little bit this day, I earned my first AP ever. Like, I've never AP'd a song in any game. I ended up in 57th place at about 3 a.m. Sunday the 23rd, day 4, falling behind. I started the day in 106th, but my energy was so low. Things started looking down here. I had already used about half of my energy boosts, and we were only on day 4. That's when I posed R8 with a question.
Question. Okay, so in the event that someone runs out of cans before they finish N-dash, what's the best song / difficulty to garner event points without multipliers? Like, the most efficient way?
Like fully times 0? If you're fully times 0, Abby, because it's the shortest.
Yeah.
But you're probably cooked. Go farm for crystals.
I mean, you're really not going to be climbing it all on 0.
And then come back and play LNF / Sage if there's time.
Yeah, more like a last-ditch effort to keep yourself afloat type thing.
If you run out of cans at this point during the event, you just have to bite the bullet and use crystals, unfortunately. For N-dash, it just depends on how far you are from cutoffs and how much time is left until the event ends.
Got it. Thanks, Lol. Asked some friends and they were completely unsure as it's not something they've ever been asked or thought about.
E.g., I parked the full 8 hours before the event ended and didn't do N-dash because I was way past the T100 cutoff and knew that they couldn't catch up to me during EG5.
I just want to climb as high as I can shoot for now. I'm already way above my original T2K goal, lol.
Then it hit me. This is a new account, and I haven't played much aside from dailies. I'd only FC'd about 80 songs on Expert. I could make up for my lack of boosts if I split my time between full comboing for crystals and then using them to Ebby jail for a few hours straight. I was a genius. This plan actually saved me. Despite having fallen down to 120 in the time I took FCing, I managed to claw my way back into top 100 for good this time. By about 1 a.m., I called it at rank 78. Monday the 24th, day 5. Grind, grind, grind. I didn't document much this day because I genuinely reached flow state. I'd gotten used to the balance between my FC grind and Ebby grind, and I ended the night in 55th place. Tuesday, the 25th, day 6. Pain. At this point, while I'd gotten into a routine, it had started to become a bit boring and painful. I found myself constantly begging for the event to end already. I ended in 57th place at 3 a.m. Slowly, I was finding my pace and making my way up. Wednesday the 26th, day 7, Loneliness. This event happened to fall on the American holiday Thanksgiving, so a bunch of my friends were unable to play N-dash due to having family events. I was left alone with my thoughts and those stupid AI Reddit stories to save me from losing it. After how much fun the first few days were, tearing started to be painful. As someone who had been a solo tierer all this time, I'd gotten so used to being around others that I was getting super lonely. I pushed through and managed to make it to 47th. I also seem to have lost it just enough to make these meme gifs that we now spam use in servers. Thursday the 27th. Motivation recovered. After spending the previous day alone, I decided to make more of an effort in my R8 rooms to actually talk to people. And it was so worth it. Everyone was so nice, and I had some fun banter with the others. I've been online so long that I haven't really gone out of my way to make friends in forever. I forgot how to talk to people I don't already know, so it was kind of interesting. By like 2 a.m., I was in 45th place, and at this point, there was officially less than 24 hours for the event. Friday the 28th, day 9, N-dash. I spent most of this day grinding as per usual. I was so excited to be done with this event. By evening, I'd managed to make it to 47th place and was prepping to park. I was luckily able to VC with both Moon and Scarf, so they could help me as it was my first time. At that point, I had about 32 million points and was planning to park at 33,333,333. One issue. There was only 2 hours left, and I was completely out of energy and crystals. So I spent the last of the event stressing, trying to full combo enough songs in time, and trying to do the math to know how many crystals and rounds of Ebby I'd need to do. As the finish line got closer and closer, my original park seemed undoable. So I decided to swap to 33 million on the dot, and by the end, I decided to do 32,999,999. At this point, I was guaranteed T50, and the excitement was rising. With 3 minutes on the clock, I was at 32,975,904 points, and I managed to squeeze in one last round of Ebby, hoping it would cut it from my goal. I finished the last notes, and the song ended at the last minute. As I skipped past the results screen, I took a quick glance at the event points I ended at. A miracle. Well, it wasn't the park number I originally had in mind. It was so close, and it was a really nice looking number overall. The clock hit 12, and Nene 5 was officially over. The event itself for me was full of monumental moments and milestones. For one thing, I started the event at player rank 99, and I ended the event at player rank 209. I also got my first and second APs ever, on both LNF and Ebby. My first leaderboard tier as well as my first T50. I just want to say a quick thanks to people who stuck with me through it. Scarf and Moon, congrats on your T20 and T30. Another thanks goes out to Ryan and Dofi for going insane with me and tiering with me. Also thanks to everyone in R8, you guys made this an easy and an enjoyable experience. With that, I was freed from tiering jail. Thanks for watching, even though it's super different from my usual content. I really wanted to share my experience. I'm so scared for World Link 2 and Final Chapter. Wish me luck.